Welcome back to the Guild 3, I'm Tobal. So, Sandor's in town, and last episode, of course, we kicked everything off. Sandor got married to Zegna, and you know what? I think it's about time that Zegna and good Sandor kind of expand the Clegane dynasty. So we're going to have him go and try to... it's literally called... It's not, you know, try for love or anything romantic. No, it's produce offspring. Very clinical. So, he's going to attempt to get back to the house and produce offspring with wife. And we're going to try to make sure we have an heir, because you want to make sure you've got an heir to pass on the Clegane name. So we'll get that taken care of. Otherwise, we're making decent money. It is, let's check the relations real quick. So, everyone's starting to hate us. That's great. I mean, it's pretty expected. We are robbing from a crap ton of people. My goal right now, though, is to kind of rush down into this tree right here. I want to go down into the mercenary quarters, and so to do that, we're going to need yeomen, which is going to cost another 2,200 gold. So 2,200 gold plus 650 plus 1,500 plus a building cost. That's a lot of money that we're going to have to spend. And honestly, we've not been making all that much money from the robbers camp. Like, it's decent, but it really isn't quite as, I would say, steady as any other generic trade. So what I might do is I might branch out into one of these other trees. Just pick up a basic level of, you know, either handicraft or food prep or herbalism or something like that. I think, honestly, for money, handicraft is probably going to be the best bet because, you know, I mean, think about it. If we're a criminal syndicate or we're a crime boss, we're going to want to, you know, pull a Better Call Saul and launder our money appropriately. So maybe we should look into that route of getting a normal business in order to make some money. Also, I found out recently that I was kind of wondering how people do things like, you know, boast about your exploits and stuff like that. You set those options in the house. So we could, since Zenya's not really doing much right now, we could assign her to go boast about her exploits or our exploits as a dynasty, and that's going to give us a little bit of influence every time she does it. So I'll let her, you know, make some kind of, well, not really money, but, you know, she'll be doing something for us because eventually, as we started getting into the citizen titles, we're going to need a lot more influence every level. So that's going to, probably we're going to get that through bribes, to be honest. But in order to branch out into the other tree, we're going to need 1,000 gold. So let's go ahead and do some micromanagement of Sandor. And we're going to have him do a bit of looting. So, I think I found before. Oh, hey. You know who might have some money on them? The tax collector. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Clarice. We're going to try to find her down, or hunt her down, rather, and see if we can, or knock her out and take her purse. So, there's a bunch of guards in the way, too. Sandor on the hunt. We can assault them directly. That's going to knock them out. Ooh, did you just take that turn? No, you're still right there on the road. Damn it. But yeah, so basically you can knock a target out at any point, and then you're going to be able to loot them once they're unconscious. That's basically what the assault order does, or the ambush order. The ambush order will automatically attack someone and then loot them afterwards. Is she getting escorted by this guy here? Oh, she actually might be. That would make sense. Let's see if we can just knock her out anyways, and probably fight the escort if that's what he's doing. He's got this symbol around him. I thought he was actually doing guard work. He's patrolling. That's hilarious. You patrol the neighborhood to clear the streets of criminals. Yeah, you're doing real good work, buddy. Right, so we knocked her butt out, and we should be able to go into loot right there. Nice, we had 160 gold from her. So attacking someone of higher status is going to net you a little bit more money. Right. I'm going to actually run a really good spot. I wanted to set up the ambush right between the stonecutter and the blacksmith, because they have to go a little bit down the road. Ah, crap, there's a guard coming. I'll micro Sandor for a bit to try to make some money for us. And once we get high enough, we're going to need about... Well, I can actually do it now. I can at least get the Handicraft 1 skill. And then we'll be able to build the crude craftsman's hut as soon as we get some money. Oh, it's only 790, so it's not quite as much money as the robber camp, but that's still going to be a little bit of ways from us. So I will micro Sandor. And I also found out, by the way, that if you put down your ambush job and you find yourself knocking people out, but you're not able to loot them, that's because you actually do go into a cooldown. So watch us loot this person. Oh my gosh. Right as we switch to the next season. Right as we looted her, we have our pick up or steal from character action on cooldown. So you can only do that so often. So if you're wondering why, you've microed someone, so you're microing your thief, and they're doing the ambush, and then all of a sudden they're not able to pick up from anyone. That's because they have their loot from person on cooldown. God, just shooting the same person. Just be nice. God. All right. Let me go micro Sandor and some other folks and try to get us some more money, and then we'll get into the handicraft just a bit. We are going to stay focused on the rogue, but I feel like having a good front business is going to help us get a bit more steady income. All right, so Sandor stole some bracers and a shield, and that's going to put us right up over where we need to be for the new business. So let's put down... I don't think it matters really what village, because I think they both have Craftsman's hut. There's a crude Craftsman hut there. As we fly across town, there is a crude Craftsman hut. There's a couple of them over there too. So yeah, no matter what, I think the first tier buildings, you're just going to be pumping out raw materials, and it doesn't seem to be much in terms of, like, I don't know. The market doesn't really feel all that alive right now. And that could be, I haven't really gone ever since we played one time a couple weeks ago, and I did do a bit of a tradesman run. So I haven't really paid attention to how the market ebbs and flows, but all of the markets almost seem, especially for prices, they all seem around the same price. So like a longsword, 175, 147 here. Let's say across town, looking at a longsword, 175, 147. So it's almost like sorry, I almost named our child W's across the board. We have a child, hooray! Sandor and Zegna are the proud parents of, you know what? I feel the overwhelming urge to name this child Bran. Decent stats and strength, of course, but everything else is below average. So he's a big, strong lad. But yeah, if we look at the market, all the prices seem exactly the same. So it's almost like there is no local demand and supply. So I don't know, I hope they do change that, because it doesn't seem to make any sense, right? You're not going to have, this village is not going to have the same supply that the village far across the way is going to have at the same time. So maybe that's going to be changed, maybe that's going to be the same, who knows. But for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and hire some new employees. Sandor doesn't like to get his hands dirty, so we're not really going to have him doing too much. Let's see, we're going to be making 22, we can sell these for 22, 12, and 17. So this is going to require iron and pine wood. I think I'll probably just set them on autopilot and see what the AI decides to do first thing. We can also buy, or not, yeah, we can sort of buy, we can unlock a new worker slot. And I guess we'll also do productivity here if we have the money. We actually don't have the money for it. Whoops. Oh, shoot. We may not have any money to buy the raw materials that we need. So let me do a bit more looting with Mr. Sandor. By the way, it seems like the more you try to focus on micromanaging your thief, the better you might do, especially in a lucrative area. So I sat here outside of the blacksmith, and every time the transporter came out, like right there's a transporter that's got probably something. We're right between guards, so I think we should knock her out. I'll go over here and pretend that nothing happened, and he'll just walk on by. And what we'll do is we'll loot her and take a look. Now, when they're leaving, it's going to be the more lucrative, because they're coming out with completed products, right? There we go. So yeah, sure enough, she had chainmail when she came out of the blacksmith. So it seems like if you park yourself outside of a shop and you're manually controlling all of your actions, you're going to wind up doing a bit better than if you would let yourself go on autopilot, especially if you sign yourself to the building. But I mean, even right here we go again. Both of these folks just came back and turned around and left. So that means that they should have some items in their inventory. Let's take one more look. We've got a spot, right? Yeah, we've got one chainmail in our inventory right now. So we'll loot her. And sure enough, we got one more chainmail. So it's like we're just sitting here outside the blacksmith, stealing whatever comes right out of the building, which, kind of seems a little broken, but compared to, I don't know, I guess we'll have to see how much money we're making from the crude craftsman's hut. Maybe that makes sense in terms of how much money you're getting in one shot. Look at that. We can just sit here. It's just a matter of how much you want to micromanage all this stuff. You can even have one of your characters sit here and do the attack, and another thief next to them just looting, because you only get to loot one person at a time, right? Because you're going to a cooldown. So you could have one person attack everyone, and the other person, as maybe both people are down, the other person would grab the second person that's unconscious. It's a lot of micromanagement, but it might net you a pretty decent profit. Let's go sell off the chainmail. It looks like we already might be making some money from either the juggling or the new craftsman shop. Nice. 3 chainmail armor, 255 gold on top of everything else. So lovely. Let's take a look at that craftsman hut, by the way. We can hire another employee here. You guys aren't even doing anything. There we go. Let's go ahead and set a budget. Assign budget. We can assign this over to like 2,000. I don't think it really matters. Do they take away money from you? Not really. I think it just determines how much they're able to spend on automatically on the different items. By the way, when you hire a transporter now, when when you first hire a transporter at your shop, the first time they go to the market, they will grab a handcart automatically. Now, in terms of upgrading them beyond that, I'm not sure if you need more or what. Good job, Zegna. Way to spread the word of the Clegane dynasty. That's annoying. There's no iron in our market. Is there any iron anywhere, or is it all out everywhere? There's no iron anywhere. That's funny. So, how screwed are we? I mean, there's other objects I think that you can make out of wood. Maybe. I hope so. Because otherwise we're going to be in a kind of a rough spot. Yeah, we can make torches. So, I'm going to have to... Okay, they already are automatically making torches. So, I just noticed that our person doing the market transporter kept coming back with no iron whatsoever. So, I guess this is not... It's not going to be coming out anytime soon. There it goes. We just had a massive load come in. Let's grab as much as we can right off the bat. And that should let us make a bunch of daggers. I'm going to do... I don't know. I normally don't micromanage the Craftsman's hut all that much, but sometimes if you notice there's going to be a more lucrative trade route and they're being a little bit stubborn about it, you might have to take the reins. Uh-oh. We're on trial from stealing from a character, or for stealing from a character. Victim is, it looks like, which one random person in the city of whatever this was, trade quarter, expected punishment, public shaming. At least we've got some reputation with all the judges, which is kind of nice. Actually, one of them is really likes us. We should just try to get on this council so we can just let people off whenever we need to. We're just going to be shy of being innocent. Oh, sad day. Fair enough, fair enough. So that's one trial, just a small public shaming. I think we lose a little tiny bit of reputation, but overall, we still have a crap ton any hoots. What did you get for the transporter, by the way? You didn't pick anything back up again. Why not? Just the transporter AI just does not seem to make much sense, though. Like, sure, we're taking a crap ton of daggers in there, but we didn't pick anything up on that return load. And I don't know why, for whatever reason, I have no idea. Maybe it's like a timing thing. They never seem to fill up completely, like all the slots available. Like, why not take a stack of 20 out of 20? And as far as I know, it's not anything about the storage rules. There's nothing here that says take 14 at a time. And if you do the math on how long it takes them to go to the market and come back, they're always out of resources by the time they come back. So that's why I feel like almost manually assigning and creating a trade route is the way to go. So right here, for example, we can change this around to say, I want you to start at the market and end at our Craftsman's hut. Much effort, little reward. So at the market, I want you to just sell whatever products we make from much effort, little reward, right? So they're going to take any final products, they're going to load up and sell. For the raw materials, though, I'm going to micro it and tell it to grab us some iron and grab us some of this, I think it's pine wood? Yeah. Oops, it's only set to carrying bag. Let me change this over to handcart. There we go. Now you can upgrade how many, what the max is. It's a little weird that you have to change the min-max values here. I mean, on the buy, it makes sense. But why wouldn't the unload just have a default option of 20? I don't know. But right now, according to this trade route, we're going to go to the market, load up on iron and pine wood, at least 20 full stack, or a full stack of both. Pick up any, come home, pick up any materials we have while we drop off the ones we just bought, and then repeat the whole thing. So we're going to call this the, I don't know, iron and wood run. Just for funsies. We'll save that, and I think we can just click on the button and assign it to our employee. So she's going to go take care of that, hopefully, if she doesn't get too screwed up in the pathing. Where'd you go?
I'm ready.
Okay, are you still on automated or not? We'll see. I don't know if she took the order or if she's still on her automated one. I think I don't know. It seems like she's doing... There we go. I had to click on her. There we go. She's on one person doing this trade route now. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, and there we go. She picked up a full load of both wood and iron. I don't know why she still has the daggers, but I think it's because the what would you call it? The routing made her try to go to the market first. Now, why didn't you pick up any trade goods, though? Why would you not pick up the daggers, according to the trade route? Some days, my friend, some days. Let's see what happens when she gets back home. We're completely full up now on daggers. We have almost two full stacks of daggers. So she's going to drop this off and what? Do a little jig? She dropped him off and then she repeated it, but she didn't take anything with her. This should be load by at much effort, little reward. She should be loading up products, automated. Automatically select the goods to unload. Right, well, that's not obviously not going to work. So we could grab dagger from this list.
Someone likes you.
I should be able to do this on all 3 slots. So a minimum of 1 on each slot and a maximum of up to 20. So we can take 3 full stacks back to the market. So weird. I have no idea why it's being a little bit difficult, but I'll just give it so that pretty much we're only going to be making daggers nonstop. That worked a little bit better. This time she came back, unloaded all of her materials, and then grabbed all 3 stacks of daggers. So it seems like the manual transporter route might be the better option for you when you're first setting up your business. Now, obviously it's a bit of a challenge if your production items are changing a lot, but by and large, we're always going to be trying to make daggers because they're going to be pretty regularly more valuable than any of our other items. Now, we might run out of wood, though. Ooh, that's a problem. We ran out of iron, so they're going to switch over to torches. So I guess I'm going to have to modify the route to take some torches back, too, if they have it. Now, I don't know if she's going to freak out if she doesn't have a dagger. Like, if the recipe calls for, trade route calls for a dagger, and we don't have any daggers available, is she going to freak out and stop, or is she just going to continue on her way? Also, where the heck do you find a dagger at? It's on a black market good. Honest to goodness, I cannot find a torch on the trade route thing. Like, if I'm trying to just say I want to load up a torch here in this slot, I can't find it anywhere. It should be clear as day. It's a pretty simple item, right? I'm just not seeing this in my list whatsoever. Are you not able to sell torches? Surely you can sell torches at the market. But for the life of me, I can't find it anywhere. I guess we're going to try to... This didn't work out last time, but I can try to give it the order to just pick up and take whatever we've got.
Yes.
All right, our transporter got a bit stuck. Again, micromanaging this seems to be important to keep your shop from going completely bonkers sometimes. I mean, you can leave it automated. The fully automated thing kind of guarantees that... It seems as though it guarantees that you're never going to be full. Maybe that's why they do it. And I guess they give you, less items than you would normally have. So, I mean, like, they pull in less items than you need, because maybe the game just can't handle the fact that it might occasionally get super confused, and you might wind up with too many goods. Alright, well, I still haven't been able to find and get everything cleared up at the Craftsman hut in terms of our transporter and whatnot, but it's working good enough that we were able to get some money in. We can't afford to get a yeoman title, so now we are able to throw stones and ask for a favor. And we should be able to go down the rogue tree a bit more. So we're going to go down to rogue 2, which gives us, what was that, 1 dexterity. And once we get 1,500 gold, which should be relatively soon, we're going to be able to go into fighting 1, which gets us the mercenary quarters. And I think that's going to be something that I'd like to try out. We also are going to take a look at the sleight of hand. But doing, let's see, patrician, citizen. We need a higher title to go down the sleight of hand route. So I'm going to go down the mercenary route first to get a better sense of how much money we're going to make off that type of industry. Oh, what are you getting built here? Nice random foundry. That's going to be a very lovely target. We'll bring Sandor over here. Very few guards. And since I'm constantly looking at the crude craftsman's hut lately, I can kind of micro Sandor a little bit more too. Wonderful. How convenient. What the heck? Someone's attacking Zegna. You got this, Zegna. Come on. Holy crap, she actually does. Like this crowd of people who are just watching our little spat. The gate guard's like, nah, no. What the gate guard? You're the worst, man. That's a political office, I think. Less so much like a city thing. Nice job. Can we actually now... Do we have evidence against whoever that was? Oh, we do. Attack someone in the noble quarter. We're going to lodge a complaint. That's right. Because you know what? You can't just come around attacking Zegna and expect no retribution. We're going to go to the mattresses. I kind of gave up on trying to micromanage this transporter. Like, it drove me crazy, and nothing seemed to make sense. So I'm just going to let them run on autopilot, and I guess they're just going to roll with whatever they want. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something they're going to work out still in the game. But it seemed as though I couldn't sell the, what would you call that? The torches anywhere manually. I could only do it through the automated system, and I don't know. It's a bit bizarre to me, but the automated transporter and the automated job stuff should have everything going for long enough to keep us in the green, so to speak, and keep giving us some money. We have upgraded workers. Yeah, we've got the maximum amount of workers we can here at the crude craftsman's hut. The daggers are making us good money, for sure. I think the biggest problem is that we keep running out of iron. Oh, never mind. There's a pretty decent size there. I just hate that the... God, maybe you should micromanage every run with the transporter. Like, you know, okay, what do we need this time around? What do we need next time around? Let's grab 3 full stacks of, not water, iron. After we sell our daggers. Trying to grab as much of the iron as we can because it seems to be going out quite often. Hey, we've got enough money now to go ahead and get our next title. So Fighting 1 is going to unlock the Mercenary Quarters. So if we take a look under our build menu, we now have 3 tiers of Mercenary Quarters for each of the different 3 tiers of building we can make. So a first level is going to cost us 1,300 and we can put it into the city. So let's grab the Servants of the Country. What a beautiful name. And I guess we'll put this, I don't know. I think it should be central, right? Close to everything else, but there's not a ton of room deep in the city. Here we go. What about right here? That seems rather central to everything. I don't know. I didn't know what we're going to be able to do with this, but it seems like the next step in our rogue career. Also, I'm going to bring Sandor over this way, because whenever this gets done being constructed, I want him to work in whatever profession this is. So we'll see how much money we're going to get off the Merc quarters, and meanwhile, everything else is everything else is super wonky on the much effort, little reward. I think part of the problem is that we keep running out of iron, and as soon as iron gets delivered, it gets nabbed away, pretty much. So we're kind of trying to to take as much as we can every time we go to market. Hooray, new building finished. Mercenary Quarters, Servants of the Country. Here comes Sandor running along the road. So let's hire some employees, and I'm going to do the add-on for a new worker so we can get that slot open, and I guess productivity too. I don't know what that's going to do for us, but we'll have it ready to go. So we are able to extort protection money, nice, which is legal. You can use this to send your people to a business and make its owner aware that your protection is not for nothing. If he pays, then any rogue around will know they should stay well away from the building. Lovely. Let's hire one more person and then assign them to the same job. And I don't know why you've randomly got charcoal. I must have robbed somebody with charcoal a while ago. But what do you do now when you extort? Are you just going to run around town? Boy, I wish they would change this AI so that it worked like from distance outward or something. I don't know. And we're just right now, look at this is our overall distance meter. Whenever this fills up, this is how far you are to completing your activity, I believe. So that means he's going to be running all over town trying to... Where are you trying to go to? Who are you trying to extort? I can't even tell. There's no... Normally you'll see like a little blue symbol somewhere. And that's the person he's trying to get the extortion money from. Are you still running? How far off is it? I hope it's not some twisted route all the way back into our normal area. Probably not. Okay, there we go. He's heading over to the Windmill to do some extortion. I guess our other worker here, who's in the same mercenary quarters, is going to another building out here, Foundry. So at least it's a foundry. That should be a high-quality building. The Windmill, probably not so much. How long does this take? It's relatively quick. All right, so he's about done with his extortion. We made what? We failed. We failed in our extortion, so we didn't make any money from that. What about the guy who's over at the foundry? You made 122 off that. That's not too bad. But boy, the distance he had to run was not all that impressive. I almost think that maybe the other route, the other building, the Thieves Guild, or the, what we call this one here, the Smuggler's Hideout might be a little bit more lucrative, but we'll have to wait until we get one more title, because we don't have any more building slots, I believe. Yeah, we're completely full up on the number of buildings that are allowed by our title. With the amount of time this is taking, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be worth it. If we start getting more money, then maybe. 20 gold? Really? That's it from a foundry. That really sucks. In terms of, I mean, like, they have to run. I just watched him run all the way from our actual headquarters over here, wherever that is, down the street into our village in order to do the extortion. So it's like, you know, the amount of time that they're spending running from point A to point B is compared to, say, like a Craftsman hut or something. That's a lot of time wasted. Now, maybe there's something I don't know in terms of how much we're able to get per building. Maybe some buildings are going to give you a crap ton of money, like, you know, 500, 700, 1,000 gold for doing the extortion racket. So we'll keep an eye on it. It does look like we're making some kind of money, and I don't think we're able to really track yet. Oops. I forgot that we attacked someone a while ago. We're going to have a fine as our expected punishment for attacking someone of the this dynasty, whatever this is. The Shrekker? The Shredder Dynasty? Only one judge, though. That's exciting. So we went from paying to fine, it looks like, to over into a tarnished reputation. Lovely. Good job, Wortman. It's a chainmail bro thing, right? We're both chainmail wearers, so we have a little bit of love for each other. Wonderful. With all the crime in this city, being a judge must suck. Because I think you have to actually go to each one of those, each one of the trials. Who's actually the people who are the judges here? They gather information. Town henchmen, are the judges the city constables? Well, who's the one that we just talked to? Wortman here. So maybe it rotates between the different groups. Because I feel like I've seen other judges before, too. So it might even, it might rotate between different offices so that everyone gets some shared responsibility in terms of doing their judgely duties. You know, from just leaving our wife on the influence thing, we've actually gained a lot of influence over time. That's super helpful. We started out at like 350 influence, so being able to automate that and just have someone go around shouting about how awesome your family is, it seems to be pretty important. Also, Bran is not quite at the age where we can move him around. I think when he turns 5, we're going to be able to do some things with him. And also, at a certain point, we're going to be able to send him to school. Where's this under Citizen? Yeah, under Citizen, we're able to send a child to school. So that, I believe, costs 5,000 gold, and then it gives you a chance of having a random stat get boosted. Right now, it seems that Sandor is getting lucky, and we had like 3 or 4 buildings that were extorting all in the same area. So I have no idea if it's a random assignment every time your character, you know, comes up and you get a chance to go to a different building or not. But we were able to grab at least 3 or 4 buildings in the same area. Perfect, 155 gold. Is this based off of a roll? Like, do we need to have, like, what kind of a stat would this be under? Our charisma and all? It's going to have correct facial expressions and gestures, the general effect on other people. I don't know, I feel like we should boost up some of Sandor's weaker stats, though. 10 strength, I think, is way beyond what we need to be worried about. Yeah, we're able to get all of the protection stuff in this city. I also don't know how long this lasts for. Wow, did this protection already end? Holy crap, that means we could really grind these out. This lasts for 1 minute and 35 seconds. So in theory, we're going to have... We could just pop a bunch of mercenary quarters all over town and just have a massive extortion racket. I'm assuming that people don't like that. And we do lose a little bit of reputation every time that happens. We already have one dynasty that pretty much hates us. The rest of them are relatively neutral, though. One of them seems to be stepping upward in relation to us. How's our overall reputation with the city? Not too great. At least they love us in the trade quarter where all of the richy folks live. Alright, we have enough money to claim the resident title. This is going to give us the access to fleas, apparently. Release the fleas. If we have a liaison, we can go and use our liaison's connections. And also bribe an office holder. Bribing an office holder gives you a massive boost to your reputation. So that's going to come in handy, like here. If we didn't have enough influence, we would be able to bribe for a really large influence boost. So what's next for us? I believe I'd like to try to get into the citizen and then free citizen next episode, because that's going to let us get into public office. And we already have our jugglers working on improving the relationship with everyone in these different offices. So in theory, if we apply to, say, the city gate guard job, these two would vote for us because they really, really love us because we have such a great reputation with the city. So that means that we shouldn't have too much trouble once we get into politics. But otherwise, it's mostly going to be waiting on the money. We have the right title, so we should be able to also start up a smuggler's hideout. And I might do that as soon as we get 1,500 gold, plus whatever the cost is to build the actual building. Crap. I moved Sandor away from our business, but at least we were close by.
Certainly.
What in the world? Somebody wants to trade us a building. Seriously? They want us to trade our craftsman hut for a forge? That is so weird. Can I think if I cancel this, it's going to stop it overall. Wouldn't this be a huge step up? Are we even able to use this building? Because I don't know if we have the skill for it, right? This is down, this is farther into the craftsman tree. Well, I'm going to cancel it because that makes me feel like our craftsman hut is making a crap ton of money. Can I look at the books right now and see how we've been doing? So this was from last year to now. So pretty much, let's look at all of 1406. We didn't make that much money. We made 1507 from our robbers, 1400 from our craftsman hut, and only 1200 from the servants of the country. The year before that, 1405, the Craftsman hut made, got 2,000 gold profit. So we're making a little bit at a time, but it doesn't seem like all that much money right now. Oh no, we're in a feud with somebody. The dynasty of Heir has declared a feud. What does a feud mean? Are they going to poke us every time they can? Why are we're not even at the bad level yet. To be fair, a lot of these are dropping down because we keep extorting all of their businesses. Yeah, you know what? I could see that getting a little bit pissed off, but hey, whatever works. I've upgraded with Sleight of Hand 1, so now we have access to the Smuggler's Hideout, and that's going to cost how much? A Smuggler's Hideout will cost 1,700 gold. So once we have that saved up, I will put one of those in the city and see what kind of options we have from there. All right, 1,700 gold is done. Let's see, where do we want to put the Smuggler's Hideout at? I guess probably on the outskirts of the city. I think they travel, whatever the job is, if it's going to be like extorting, they're going to be traveling all over town anyway, so I don't know if it particularly matters or not. We'll put it here on the region on the border between two of these towns, though, or two of these parts of town. Oh, we actually dripped below 1,700, so I lost the ability to build that. Hooray, new building finished. So, Boys Will Be Boys apparently is the name of our shop, and this is our thieves' den of sorts. So we're going to hire a couple of thieves. They can either do pickpocketing or legal playing dice. So, I think we're going to give them the pickpocketing role, because that seemed like that's going to be a bit more lucrative than doing random dice rolls. And we'll grab one more worker slot, and I guess a productivity. Oop, we're a little bit too poor for that. Well, we tried to pickpocket somebody, and we immediately, the first time we tried it, got caught. So, not a great sign for how well our smuggler's hideout is going to do, but we'll check in on this next episode, see how much money we make. Otherwise, friends, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Guild 3, and if you are interested in supporting the channel, I do have a Patreon in the link below. Otherwise, I'll see you next episode. Take care.